obviously speed is important. Every second counts in cybersecurity. But how can teams make sure that they're not sacrificing quality for the sake of efficiency? When you guys think about that, what's your thought process on that front?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to measure quality, like to quantitatively measure a qualitative stat. How we've approached it is to raise point. We're opinionated about what good looks like. So we define that. And then we define that as a rubric, and then we'll score things. This is something where we found good success internally with AI tools. Like they work really well with a rubric and, hey, does it match this? Does it adhere to these criteria, and scoring things out for us so that we can do sampling, 100% sampling instead of, what we've historically done is random sampling for quality control checks. But basically it boils down to have an opinion about what good looks like. You can't hold somebody accountable to something you never told them. So communicate that to them in training, give them the space to do that work, and then inspect it after the fact and actually compare it to what you've set as the standard. And if it doesn't meet the standard, then once upon a time, expand the aperture for what you're sampling. But today, more and more, you're able to sample 100%.
And I think to his last point, I think another something that I want to emphasize too is that feedback loop of, say you have things defined, you have rubrics, you're doing the sampling. You need to make sure that feedback loop is making it back to the people actually doing the work. Because if you're just inspecting it off to the side and you're not deriving any action from it, then what is that work really for? And that gets a little bit more philosophical, because it comes down to having a culture, which we think is one of the really important things about what's made us successful, if not the thing, is having an environment where you can have these open, honest conversations as a team. Because if people aren't perfect. If they did make a mistake, they need to be able to own it, learn from it, improve, and help other people learn. But a lot of times it's, what can we do to make the team more successful, and provide requirements to other teams on technological or product-based solutions. So kind of it boils down to that people, process, and technology thing. The outputs of that inspection should drive some form of action.
And then, so that's for quality. And then when it's measuring like the accuracy of our work, there's true positive rate. There's also false negative rate. How many things do we close incorrectly? The other thing that we track is how many, not just alerts, it's alerts that we closed incorrectly and then added. It's not just alerts that led to a total miss of an incident, but sometimes it's slightly later in the life cycle that we realize, oh shoot, this was actually related, and then we add that. How can we make that more apparent? So we track those situations where something's determination changed. In addition to that, we perform detection gap analyses, where this is really, I think, the key of any detection program, is that the attackers are giving you the answers to the test based off of what they've just done. And so you have to pull all of that apart and say, hey, here are the places where we made the right decision. Here are the places we made the wrong decision, but also here are the places that we detected what they were doing, and here's where we could have detected it. And so the way that we think about this is, how many unique decisions go into each incident that we work? If it's a single incident, or a single alert for that incident, especially depending on where you are in the life cycle, one alert is a near miss to us. If you catch an incident with one alert, we need to trigger that review in order to make sure that people are not going to be 100% accurate when it comes to closing alerts. And that's a bad goal to set, especially when you have really talented attackers on the other end, which we do. And so if we're only giving somebody one decision to make the right call, we've set them up to fail, and we've set the companies up to that we protect, or an individual company, if you're building it for yourself, up to fail as well. And so we need to have as many detections as we can possibly have, give us as many at bats to make the right decision to catch these attackers, track how often we make the right decisions, and then figure out why we didn't make the right decisions in the cases that we didn't, and how we can use automation to provide the right data so that we make the right decision the next time.